So today I want to talk about how you calculate what you can afford to pay on staff. So when you need to start recruiting a team. So if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, and you think you need to recruit new members of staff, or you're not sure whether you're overstaffed or understaffed, there's a really simple formula that can really help you here. Welcome back to consecutive day 1775 of a diary of a Runpreneur. Today's topic is all about how do you know how much you can afford to spend on staff, when to recruit new staff, and when you need to possibly make cuts from your team. So clearly this is relevant to business owners, entrepreneurs, people who manage people. But before we get into that, please don't forget that this vlog is part of a fundraiser of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, the distance of a lap of the world, barefoot style. And the more people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. So back to the topic at hand. How can you work out whether you're paying too much or too little on your staff? When do you recruit? When do you not recruit? When do you have to make cutbacks? It's quite a difficult one. So many people don't really know how to do this. And I have to confess, I was one of these exact people until pretty recently. But there's a book I'm listening to at the moment. I can't kind of take credit for this. This is somebody else's work, but it's a book by Greg Crabtree called Simple Numbers, Straight Talk, Big Profits. It's a financial, business-based book, but it's done in a quite easy to digest manner. Now it is Americanized for the American market, so you do have to do a little bit of converting in terms of the terminology from the US terminology to the UK or wherever you're listening from. But some really good stuff in there. And one of the really good take homes for me was how to work out your salary cap or what you can afford to pay on staff. And it's quite an easy calculation when you actually think about it. But it takes somebody to write it down in a simple way for you to understand it. So quite simply, you take your annual revenue or monthly revenue, if you want to do it monthly or annually. Annually is better because you get a bigger range of data. But if you haven't got annual figures, you can look at the last month or a few months and take an average figure. So you want to look at your annual revenue, and you then want to minus your non-salaried costs. So any costs to your business that you're paying out on a monthly or annual basis, which isn't related to staff. So just minus that figure, and then you minus your target pre-tax profit. Now, just as a pretty good barometer here, again, this is taken from the book. If you only make 5% pre-tax profit, your business is on life support. So clearly you need to work on that. If you make 10% pre-tax profit, this is 10% of your annual revenue or your revenue figure, then your business is pretty stable. That's a good kind of benchmark to aim for. If you're making 15% of pre-tax profit, then your business is doing really well. So I'd normally say around 10% is a sensible target. So take 10% of your annual salary. That's your target pre-tax annual profit. And then it will leave you with a number. If it's a negative number, then you've got major issues because you're hemorrhaging money. You should have some kind of figure there that you can work with. That is what you can afford to pay staff. Okay, that figure there. So when you're looking at what you're paying people possibly on a monthly basis, you just divide that figure by 12 months and you've got your monthly figure. But that simple equation allows you to know whether you're within the barometers or the parameters of what your business can afford to pay in terms of staff. If you're above that, you've got a couple of options. Either do something pretty quickly to increase your revenue or to be able to kind of counteract that, or you have to make cuts to your team to stay within that kind of bracket. Interestingly as well, when you think that you're ready to take on new staff, again, that figure should tell you what your salary cap is, the maximum you can afford to spend. So if there's enough buffer in that figure to bring another member of staff in, then you're ready to do so. If there's not, you need to wait until you have created enough buffer by increasing your revenue accordingly. to be able to do that. So yeah, just a really simple kind of concept there. It's pretty game changing when you actually start running the numbers, and really reassuring if you're coming in within target. So yeah, hope you find it useful. So learnings from my diary today is so many business owners, entrepreneurs don't know when they should recruit more staff, when they shouldn't, whether they're paying too much to their staff. This simple calculation, which is based on Greg Crabtree's Simple Numbers, Straight Talk, Big Profits book, and it allows you to work out what the salary cap is. And the equation is pretty simple. It's your annual revenue. You can do this monthly if you don't have enough data to look at annual, but annual revenue is ideal because it's a wider range of data, minus your non-salaried costs. So all your costs and overheads for the business, excluding what you pay staff, okay? Minus your pre-tax profit target. Now, as a general rule of thumb, if you don't know what this is, 5% pre-tax profit, your business is on life support, 10% is pretty stable, 15% is outstanding. So if you don't know, just put 10% down. So 10% of your annual revenue as your pre-tax profit figure target, and you minus the non-salarized costs and the pre-tax annual profit target from your annual revenue, and it will give you a figure. If that figure is negative, you're hemorrhaging money, so you really need to fix that massively quickly. But there should be a number there, which is what you can afford to pay in terms of staffing costs. Now, you can use this really effectively because people say, oh, when can I afford to bring somebody new in? Well, as your revenue grows and profit grows, that figure will also grow alongside that formula. So when you create enough buffer within your salary cap, because it's a maximum figure, if you've got enough buffer in there to cover somebody else's salary, then you're ready to recruit again. If you haven't, then you wait until your business has grown sufficiently before you recruit that next person. So I hope that's really useful. It's been super useful for me, so hopefully it'll be equally as useful for you. So yeah, that's basically it. Any questions or comments, drop me a line. Any relevant ones I'll respond to. Please do remember though, if you believe in my mission of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, the distance of a lap of the world, barefoot style, then do give this a subscribe, share, like and comment. More people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. Thank you as always, stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you again tomorrow.